When I play the trombone, it feels like I'm in the zone and I don't have to worry about anything.
When I play percussion, it makes me happy and I get to hit. And I feel happy because our teacher is such a good teacher in teaching us music and playing songs.
I have the most fabulous music teacher out there. So that's number one. Our Miss Parr goes above and beyond, and she has such an excitement and passion for what she's doing. You can tell that not only does she love music, but she loves bringing music to life in our students. And the students love her. And she's been in our building only this year, so it's been 9.5 months that she's been here, and I can't imagine this building without her.
You are listening to Education Through Music, the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Noah, and in this episode, I'm going to take you to PS 72 in Throgsneck, where the entire school community is abuzz with preparations for the band's spring concert. We'll hear from Darren, Amelia, and Grayson, all of whom are fourth grade instrumentalists in the band, as well as their parents, their teacher, Ms. Parr, and their principal, Miss Ratchin, whom we've already heard from in the cold open. We'll return now to Miss Ratchin, who does a really good job of explaining the origin of the band and the impact it has had broadly on the school and the neighborhood.
This year's band program is something far beyond anything we could have imagined. And in all honesty, I am not coming, even though I'm coming with 30 years of experience as an educator, I'm not coming from any school that had a functioning band. So I'm coming to it new to the table, not knowing what to expect, not knowing how to make it happen. And luckily this year, through the partnership with ETM, I've had great mentors, great advice, great support, and we were able to develop this band program that exceeded our imagination. We have over 80 children who had never played an instrument before, who can now play songs from memory and just truly knock your socks off.
I'm really excited to hear them play later. Today is concert day. What's the atmosphere like on concert day?
We have a buzz, not just on concert day, we have a buzz in all the days leading up to concert day. We know that our children will just inspire and shock and surprise in all positive ways everybody who hears them. Because again, our students didn't know how to play instruments. So people are coming expecting to hear squeaky instruments, bad tones. I don't know if I'm using all the right musical words or not, but just hearing a bit of a jumbled mess on stage, and what they hear is music that just captivates the soul, invigorates the mind, gets people wanting to get up and move and clap and just celebrate along with the children. So we have excitement, and it's not just excitement for the kids in the band. Their parents come to the school in the morning to drop them off with an excitement. The teachers and the paraprofessionals go walking around the building with that excitement. What time is it starting? What's happening? What songs are they doing? And that excitement is just absolutely infectious.
Have you noticed any positive benefits that have resulted from the students having access to learning of instruments and that sort of thing?
Absolutely. So there is the simple one where we noticed that there was a greater improvement in attendance among band students than non-band students.
Oh, wow.
So that was very important for us because we were a school that was typically at the bottom of the district in terms of attendance. And while we've moved up considerably, we look at the data and we can see that band students have shown greater improvement in attendance. And we think that's because they're excited to come to school and to play their instruments. We also noticed an increase in students' confidence. Not every student is successful academically, but every single student has a strength, a talent, an interest, a passion, and it's our job to find that. And I think through band, we found that in a lot of students who might not have otherwise had a reason to celebrate or feel special or to feel that they have something to offer. Our band is open to all 4th and 5th graders. So we have multilingual learners in the band, we have students with special needs in the band, and then we have gifted and talented students in the band. But we truly have every kind of student who we serve in that band. And the beauty there is that each and every one of them has found a strength and a passion. The other thing that I'd like to add is I'm a community girl. So this is my neighborhood. And so the effect of the band even reaches outside of the school, because as I'm walking in the neighborhood, walking up on East Tremont, walking home at the end of the day, I bump into my neighbors, and I can't tell you how many of my neighbors say, "Oh my goodness, I see the kids walking to school with their instruments," and they see them wheeling their percussions, or they see them carrying the cases. And even the neighborhood, many of whom don't even have students who go to the school anymore, because a lot of the neighbors are older people whose children have moved away. But even they're excited now about something new that's happening at PS 72.
Principal Ratchin, thanks so much for taking the time to tell me about your music program.
Well, thank you so much for showcasing our music program. And there's more to come.
We have Amelia, Darren, and Grayson, and I'm Noah, and we're talking about a concert that we're getting ready to play today. How are we feeling about the concert?
Nervous.
A little nervous. Okay, why nervous?
Because my dad's gonna be there.
Ah, okay, and you want to play really well because your dad's going to be there?
Yeah.
That makes sense. These things that are really important to us, sometimes the nerves tell us that they're important to us. So the nerves can be a good thing sometimes. But Darren, we were talking earlier and you said that you're not nervous. Tell me about that.
Even though I mess up, I can still try again. Either way, like I don't want to restart and have to restart, and everybody's playing a whole entire different part, and I'm on number one. Even though I mess up, I still can try.
Well, yeah, trying is the most important part, right? If we don't try stuff, especially stuff that's really difficult, then we never get better at stuff, especially the stuff that is important to us and the stuff that might make us nervous. Okay, so Grayson, tell me about how you're feeling.
Well, I'm feeling nervous because I might hit the wrong note, or I might play too fast, or might get ahead or be too behind. And if I get it on, I feel proud of myself and I feel more encouraged. And that makes me feel better, and my mom's gonna be in the crowd.
Oh yeah, so a common theme here of wanting to play really well because our parents and loved ones are in the audience. At the start of the year, what was it like to go to music class?
So the first day of band, I was really excited to start playing a new instrument because I already knew how to play the keyboard.
Okay. And so was this year the year that you started playing baritone? Cool.
Yes.
And so what has it been like going from not knowing how to play the baritone, even though you played some keyboard, to now getting ready to put on a concert on baritone?
I'm feeling okay with that because we've done concerts in the past and I haven't messed up in the past. So I feel kind of okay with this concert.
Great. What about you, Darren?
There was this other kid. I'm not gonna say his name, but this other kid was we were just starting, and I was like, he was louder than me. He wasn't better, but he was just louder, and I was like, oh, he's gonna beat me into I used to be competitive. So I used to see, oh, he's gonna beat me. What do I do? But then I started actually practicing, and band for me, when it was back, I was like, this maybe I want to quit. But then after like seeing something, I don't know what happened, but I kept playing and I kept trying, and I actually like playing the trombone now.
Great. What is it like for you as a percussionist, going to music class, knowing that you're going to be responsible for kind of keeping the beat, keeping everybody on track? Grayson.
Well, it's because I'm used to it, but from the beginning of the school year, I was like, I got this because I also played the keyboard, like Amelia said. And I felt confident because there's a xylophone, which is considered as percussion. I knew I wasn't gonna screw up the xylophone.
Oh, yeah, because it's shaped like a keyboard, right?
Yeah, and has the same notes.
Yeah.
And bass drum and snare drum are keeping beats, but our music teacher, Miss Parr, is amazing at telling us and directing us in the right direction to keeping the notes. So I feel sometimes nervous, but then I feel confident.
Okay, so this is a question for everybody, and feel free to chime in, whoever has a good answer ready to go. What has it been like working with Miss Parr this year?
So basically at the start of the year, I had this person. I'm not gonna say names, but but I had this person that I had problems with, right? And the teacher before Miss Parr didn't really help with that, but Miss Parr she separated us, and then I started liking music better.
Okay, so sometimes you have conflict in the music room, but Ms. Parr is really good at helping you navigate the conflict. That's great.
Well, me? Well, first I was like, should I really play in band? And then I started playing in band. Because Miss Parr helped me on reading notes, playing the trombone from scratch, which I was horrible at. I sounded like, let's say a mouse squeaking.
Okay.
Like a knocked out rat squeaking for help. Anyways, even in music, like in music class, like the regular one, like I was doing so good. Like I was a role in yellow. I was a role in like a pirate's act. I was I was in band. I was doing good, and that kind of helped me boost my grades too.
Tell me more about that.
Like as soon as I started playing trombone and doing all this stuff, I felt like I finally could do something. Cause in the class, I was like just raising my hand, like I was like, "Don't pick on me, teacher." Don't. I was like, now I'm like, "Oh, this is 9 + 9? No, 9 × 9. This is easy." After that, I kind of feel boosted in my confidence and abilities, and it's not just in school; it's also in like outside my school area.
Okay, so both in school and out of school, sounds like you're gaining some confidence.
Yeah.
As a result of playing. That's great. Any other, last question. Are there any other things that you would say are really special about music class, about coming to music class?
Coming to music class makes me feel like not just I can do anything and I'm confident. I've been yapping about that, but I also like. It's like I can, like, I feel in the zone, like, cause my dad introduced me to music. I was listening to it 24/7, and I feel like I'm in the zone. I can listen to music whenever I want. I don't have to worry about anything or anyone, and it's just pretty good.
Miss Parr is such a great teacher. She teaches everyone in this band with such great enthusiastic, and she's great. And she teaches really well. Instead of saying play this or this is the key and I'll play a whole entire song, she's like, this is this key, this is this key, and she gets music sheets and sometimes she manually writes me or do or re, and that helps us. She guides us along to playing.
I have to agree on Grayson with this one here, because not only does she do that, but she also doesn't say, like, basically, like, oh, you don't know how to do this? I'll give up on you. She keeps trying, like, and trying until we actually get it.
So I'm gonna add on to what Darren and Grayson was saying. So Miss Parr, right? Unlike my other, unlike other teachers who just say, who just say do this for the first time and then just expect us to get it just straight away when when some people need more help than other people, and some teachers don't get that. While Miss Parr, right? Even though some kids get it, she still goes. She still explains it a way that everyone could understand it.
In teaching so that anybody can play. That's great. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right, great. Let's so we'll cut there. Thank you again. Now we turn to the parents of Amelia, Grayson, and Darren to hear their perspectives on the band program at PS 72. What is it like having your children take part in band at PS 72?
I personally think is such an amazing experience. I mean, she's always had a love for music, and she was transitioning from another school into the 4th grade. So that already was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But then coming into the 4th grade and finding out that there was going to be a brand new band, and I knew of her love of music, I'm like, that's a perfect way for her to transition from a different school into a new school and make friends and do something she loves. And it's just been like, I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity for her.
Yeah, it's such great timing to
perfect. It was
for the
just,
band to be starting up from scratch.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's so exciting because his father tried to get him into every sport there is, and he has no interest. So when music came along, he's so in love with it, and I'm excited that it's just something that he enjoys doing.
For Amelia, we tried to get her into a couple of different instruments like piano, and asked her if she wanted to play the violin, and she said no. She did piano once, and she said, I think I'm done. But as soon as she got into PS72, she was like, oh, we're starting a band, and she said that she wanted to play the baritone because it's the biggest instrument they have right now. So I was like, you know what, just, it's fine, go for it. So, great experience, and she really enjoys it.
The choice aspect, I think, is really important, especially in like 4th grade, 5th grade, when kids are starting to like develop their own preferences, their own personalities. It's so cool that there's a program where the expectation is not one size fits all, because then everybody will be playing the same instrument, right? The expectation is that you get to kind of branch out and do your own thing.
I especially feel that way for Grayson because with percussion, she's not limited to just, she started out with xylophone because she already played keyboard and piano. But she'd only done that for a year. So I was like, she said, I want to go for percussion because the xylophone, the keys are similar to piano. But having been in percussion, she's able now to play the snare drum, the bass drum, crash cymbals, several different percussion instruments. And that's perfect for her because she's always wanted to try different instruments. So when we were doing piano, she's like, I also want to do violin, and I also want to do drums. So joining the band, like everything, the timing was just perfect, and the fact that she got selected for the percussion section was just perfect for her too. So yeah, beyond thrilled, and it's perfect. Yeah, it was a perfect experience.
Have you noticed anything in particular when they come home from school? What are they talking about? Is band part of what they're talking about, and what's that like?
At home, I want to say the first couple of weeks was hard on my head. However, he's so focused. He sounds amazing. And music has given him such a focus that this year, it's like a 360 from last year. Like he's on the honor roll every semester. Like he's so focused. He was falling back in math and everything. And because I don't know what goes on in music, but he's so focused, and he's academically, everything has changed.
Having seen your children's development over the course of this 1 year, has their participation in band gotten you thinking any different way about what's to come with middle schools?
Well, for that question, not really. The only reason I say that is because with band and she said Amelia's gonna do it next year, and she said she's gonna change instruments. So now, since she told me that, I have a feeling that from now on, 4th grade, one instrument, 5th grade, another one, 6th, 7th, 8th, is gonna be a different instrument every year. So, I just expect that progression. And with the middle school process, it makes me want to look at schools that does have band, a part of it. And if you don't have a band, you might have to be left off the list, So
Kind of disappointed because it's the last year with Miss Parr. And I think she's an amazing teacher. However, they don't have violin here. So this is open. He wants to play the violin. So his thing is that over the summer, I'm going to learn how to play the violin. Miss Parr doesn't teach violin, so he wants to do that so he could come back and be the only violinist here. And as far as even if his junior high school doesn't have band, I will make sure I do online classes or something to keep him focused on his music.
Yeah, that's a great ambition to want to be the only violinist in,
Yeah,
in a marching band.
it is.
I love that idea.
I think that really completes I'm learning so much about Darren, right? And
Yeah.
I'm really getting a picture of a student, a child who has really come out of his shell and is like, that is a huge ambition to sort of self-study or to pick up the violin. That's not easy. Yeah.
I'm a little concerned because, of course, the music programs are not offered in all schools, and academics is important as well. So it's hard to find a program that's well-rounded with the academics that will challenge her. She's in the G&T program here, and also offer a music program, which she loves music. So I was already doing the piano outside of the marching band, but she loves the band, over the piano. So it's like, that's gonna be a hard obstacle to navigate there because she's got one more year here with Miss Parr, and then we just have to see what happens after that. I would hope that the middle school that she goes to offer her music program. That would be amazing, and I wish all schools offered a music program for them.
Yeah.
I mean, shown to build their confidence, affect their academics in positive ways. So just one can only hope.
Finally, here is Jess Parr, the band teacher at PS 72. Jess, thanks for talking to me today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here.
Of course. I just watched a fantastic band concert here at PS 72, and I am sort of in awe of the fact that you've only been here for a year. So I'm wondering, how has it been getting here, getting started with the band program, and how did you come so far so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I never know what to expect, especially when you're starting a new program or bringing a program back in a new school. And it was kind of like, you're either going to sink or swim. But, someone told me one time, a very important mentor of mine was like, you can only roll out a program one time. So you got to make it work. And, I've been at 3 different schools and had the same outcome every time. And I was at my first school for a long time, and I was terrified to leave because we built such an amazing school community through the band program, and had amazing administration, and they were very supportive. And we saw what the band program and music did to bring the parents and community in. We had packed auditoriums. So
when I left there, I was really afraid. And someone told me, well, if you did this here, you can build it again. I was like, I don't know. So then when I taught in the second school, I was there for 2 years. The second year, I rolled out the band program. And when we did this concert under the Stars series there, it was the same thing. The outpouring of the community just came out, and, you know, they loved it, and they loved being around everybody, and the kids were happy to have them there. And it really shows the kids that, you know, you've got this, you know, backup here. You know, your community's out there to support you, which is important, especially in a school like this. So when I came here to a school that has had music for a long time, but it was strong, and then it wasn't so strong. It was strong, wasn't so strong. And I know that it went through a couple crazy years with COVID, and it kind of took away the band program.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to rebuild the band program here. But coming into a brand new school, I was really worried. Nobody knew who I was.
Right.
And here I was going to try to do a band program with a bunch of strangers. How were they going to buy into this?
As an unknown quantity and unproven.
And
yeah.
They're like, well, what is a band program? Because the last time that there was a band here, I think these current kids were in first grade, maybe second grade. And so they didn't really have anything to pull from, like, hey, what is a band program, and who is this person? And, you know, how were they to trust me? And they're going to pay for these instruments when they don't know who I am. Right. So there was this big, like, what am I going to do if this doesn't work? So, and then I think I waited a couple of weeks and pulled out the most fun activities I could think of in music class to get that buy-in from the kids immediately. And so once they were excited, I pulled out all the instruments and put them all the way across the front of the room. I'm like, you guys want to play one of these this year? We're starting the band program back up again. And they just showed up. We had our band meeting, and, you know, I was new to the principal also. And so she's like, well, I don't know if maybe we'll get 30. And I think, you know, we ended up with over 100 this year to start out the program. And, you know, I was amazed, and the buy-in from the parents and the constant support and, you know, the words of encouragement, and you're doing a great job, and the kids are sounding great. And, you know, it just surprised me. And even more so, things I sent home and how responsive they were, because it's something that I was told when I was going to start this program, say, well, you know, you'll be lucky if you get 40. I'm like, well, 40 is not what I want. You know, I've always had these big groups. And, you know, when you have a big group, it's not just about teaching the music. It's about, you know, hey, look, you're performing with all these kids, and you make a mistake, they got your back. You know, you're part of a group, you're part of something bigger. So teaching the band program is, you know, look at this. Let's show them this huge group, and we're going to go to this nursing home, we're going to go to this parade, and we're going to support our school at all these functions, and you're these role models for people. And, you know, and they just bought into it. You know, I mean, it wasn't all peaches and cream at these rehearsals, but the other thing is the hard work aspect and the parents' support constantly there. You know, got every parent's cell phone number. They text me constantly, and, you know, just the communication was great. And I think that building a program like this really shows the parents that you're not only invested in their child, but that, hey, look at all these parents that I didn't know your kid was my class. I didn't know they were in the same class. And they meet other parents. And I think they feel better about the school that way, because they see how much support there is, and they know that they're not alone. Say, you know, okay, our kid's going off to middle school. Well, I bet somebody here is going to be in that same school. So it's just you know, your community's got your back type of thing, especially in a school like this, where many of the kids live right in this neighborhood. You know, you walk to school and you see somebody walking by themselves, hey, you can come walk with us. Or, you know, it's just to see everybody all the time. You know, I have kids talking with other kids that weren't friends before the band program, and now their parents are friends, and it's just great. You know, it's one of my favorite things about the band program is the community aspect of it.
Yeah, it seems like it's sort of it's kind of like a fire starter, but then the fire builds on its own once you get it started.
Yeah.
Like the band is a means by which, like, community is a big part of it, and then parents in getting their child getting involved in the band, they end up building community with other parents.
Yeah.
And it's also like a window into the school, in that, like, at that concert that I just saw, how often are that many parents going to be at a school?
Yeah, and sitting on the ground on blankets eating popcorn together. Like, you know, just it's
really,
amazing to see, and just, you know, laughing at inside jokes because they've been there through that whole process. And they were there when they didn't sound so great, and they were there when, you know, they didn't know how to open up their case. And, Parents are talking to parents, be like, oh, my kid's going to play the flute, your kid's going to play the clarinet. And, you said something that reminded me, and when people say, wait, so this is a public school, and be like, yeah, I feel like they say, well, you can't have that kind of program in a public school, but, it's parents and kids, and families are the same everywhere. Parents love their kids. Parents are going to do what they can to support. And I feel like when they see other parents doing that as well, it just makes it all that stronger. It makes it just, a strong community. Just, when you have this many people showing up and you got a group of 5 kids and you got all these parents showing up for it, or just any event. You got the PTA coming out and sponsoring things. You got the councilwoman coming out. You got the Bronxboro president, and there's that. And people want to be part of something that is important. They just be part of something bigger than themselves.
The parts in a lot of these pieces that the kids were playing, especially the stuff that they've been working on since the very beginning, each of those parts by itself, not that exciting. But you put the whole band together and it's really incredible. It's really exciting and intricate music, especially for elementary school kids.
Our parents said that exact thing, actually. They're like, I was listening to them practice at home and I was like, what is this concert going to be like? But when they all get together, they sound pretty good. Yeah. So it's, power in numbers, and just, you play, you're stronger when someone's next to you doing the same thing and going through the same thing you're going through. And, same thing with the parents. I feel like they're more confident, and I'm going to show up because I know this person's going to show up, and I'm not going to be the only one sitting on a blanket eating popcorn by myself. Right. So it's like one person does it, and it's kind of like you just need that soul group of, like you said, starting fire, like that little flame to start something, and then it'll just grow.
Jess, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Talking.
Yeah, it's great.
That about does it for this special behind-the-scenes look at the band concert at PS 72. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're doing your listening and leave us a 5-star rating and/or a review. For more on education through music, check out etmonline.org. Thanks so much for listening, and now to play us out a few more selections from the PS 72 band concert.